If you're planning on buying a home this year, then you're probably feeling a little stressed out and maybe even a little overwhelmed. And that's exactly why I'm making this video, to dumb down the process a little bit. I feel like oftentimes the home buying process can be a little overcomplicated. And that's why I want to go over the process from the very start to the very end in detail, along with some tips along the way to help make that transaction as seamless as possible. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh Murdoch with Real Broker. I'm a local realtor here in Calgary. If you find any value in this video, I'd love if you could hit that like button along with the subscribe button while you're down there. And if you have any feedback for me, bad or good, I would love to hear it in the comments. It will help me improve my videos along with improve your user watch experience. But anyway, without further ado, let's get right into this video on the entire home buying process. All right, so the very first thing I want to go over is that you are going to want to give yourself as much time as possible to buy a home. And what I mean by that is some people will say, I need to buy a home within 3 months because they have whatever sort of time constraint that they have. Obviously, that is possible, but it is not ideal because one, they're restricted to time, and two, they're restricted on the houses that they can look at because there's only so many houses that go live within 3 months. If you give yourself as much time as possible, then that gives you the best chances of finding a home that you super enjoy. All right, so you know now that you want to give yourself as much time as possible, and the next step that you're going to want to go through is talking to a mortgage broker. And now, if you don't know a mortgage broker or you've never talked to a mortgage broker, feel free to reach out to your favorite realtor. They'll always have recommendations for you. And then from there, your mortgage broker is going to go over your finances, your income, what your job is. And from that, they're going to figure out what you can afford and what you can't afford. And basically what is going to happen is they're going to get you pre-approved for a certain price point. And this is super crucial in the process of buying a home. One, because if you're in a very competitive market, this will help you when writing in offers over other ones that don't have pre-approval, other buyers. And second, is it'll help you and your realtor not waste time, because oftentimes if you're not pre-approved, you'll be looking at places that you love but that you can't afford, and then obviously it's very disappointing when you learn that you can't afford that place. So getting pre-approved is super important. And then another side note to that, with interest rates going up and up and up, it seems like they're not gonna go down anytime soon. So one thing that you can do is you can get a rate hold, typically from 90 to 100 days. A lender will give you a rate hold up to a certain percent. So that way, in case the interest rates go even further up from when you initially started looking, at least you have a little bit of cushion time. If you do find a place that you will have a little lower interest rate. All right, so you have your pre-approval letter from the bank or mortgage lender, and now you want to go look at some homes. And a few things that I want to note before you do that is, one, talking to your realtor and making sure that you have enough deposit or down payment on a home, because obviously that's super important, and without at least a 5% down payment, you will not be able to afford a home. And two, before going into homes, is making sure that you do your best to avoid attaching anything with emotion. And what I mean by that is you're walking through a home and, you absolutely love it. But rather than attaching that emotion to the house, I want you to try to just look at everything objectively. So, this is a pro, this is a con, and so on and so forth. And the reason for this is because if you get too attached to a home and there ends up being multiple offers on it and you lose out on it, it can be super detrimental to you, obviously, and I don't want that to happen. So like I said, the best way to avoid that is just making sure that you try your best to look at everything objectively as you're going through houses, and this will best position you to not be disappointed when or if you don't get the house that you want. Once you've found a home that you really, really enjoy, obviously the next step is to put in an offer. And this is something that you're going to want to have a conversation with your realtor about. I'm not going to go into the specific details, but the gist of it is you get a contract written up and you send it over to the sellers. And what'll happen is most likely the sellers will either reject your offer because it is just way too low and they feel offended, or two, they want to counter your offer and try to meet somewhere in the middle. And best case scenario is the buyer and the seller meet in the middle. Sometimes one party is a little more stubborn than the other. But like I said, having a conversation with your realtor is super, super important at this step because they can help guide you, because obviously they've been in negotiations plenty of times before. And with buying a home, of course, comes a lot of paperwork. So hopefully earlier in the transaction, your realtor let you know that you need a lawyer. And of course, the lawyer now will come in handy because they kind of take care of the process from here on out until possession day. Basically what happens is the two lawyers from either parties make sure that the other sides are, their finances and everything is in check, make sure that they have the funds and all that good stuff. And then on closing day, which is possession day for you, they make sure that the funds get received by the other side, make sure everything's good, and then you are officially a homeowner. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you gained some knowledge from that video. I kind of wanted to dumb it down as much as possible. Obviously, there's a lot more that happens behind the scenes with all of the parties involved. There's a lot more that the realtors do, the mortgage brokers do, the lawyers do, that you guys do. But I didn't want to get into super detail with all of that. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew the process, that you guys had the confidence to go in and start that buying process. But by any means, if I didn't answer any questions or you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll have my socials and my contact info down below. I'm always down to have a chat about real estate related things or not. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. As always, if you enjoyed, I'd love if you could hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And like I said at the beginning, any feedback, negative, positive, whatever it is, I'd love to hear it so that it can help me improve. And that will conclude my video. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day and watch out for my next one.